car is making a weird humming sound. Do you hear it? Well, I took my car to the auto place where I've gotten it fixed before, and he fixed it somewhat so that it's like drivable and shit. Because he put it on top of this thing, like lifts it up. So he was able to get underneath it and secure the flap thingamajig. So he said you can drive it around because there's no telling when you're going to get it back. In regards to the claims department, because we have to get the okay to, start working on the car and everything. And y'all hear that sound though, right? I mean, this motherfucker's an auto guy. He literally owns an auto shop. So if he says that it's safe to drive, I probably should trust his judgment rather than my paranoia. You think that my paranoia would extend to other directions? It's kind of weird, the stuff that I'm paranoid about versus the stuff that I'm not paranoid about. Anyway. I didn't think that I would be getting my car back though. Oh damn, somebody's getting arrested. It was an old black guy. Like a really old black guy. It's kind of sad. Attempt to talk about something serious in the last video. And you guys know that we jump around. We jump around, jump up, and get down. Remember that song? Who sang that song? As I'm pretty sure it was a one-hit wonder. Yeah, we talk about a lot of stuff because, there's a lot that we're thinking about. A lot that we're thinking about, a lot that we're reflecting on. It makes sense that I struggle with the things that I struggle with because, I'm a very obsessive person, and have a lot of stuff that I'm always pondering, and so it makes sense why I would get sort of like hung up on particular states of mind. Thank you, Buick. Thank you so much. Makes sense why I would get hung up on particular states of mind that make this sort of activity feel like it's supposed to happen, So yeah, that's true. Did you see that billboard? I didn't have time to read it, but I got the gist of it. Well, it's like everything feels like an experience, Like going to the gas station is an experience. Deciding what eggs I'm gonna buy, that's an experience. And I guess that's why I like the stuff that most people consider to be an experience, like getting married, having kids, getting promoted at a job, like going to school and getting a degree and getting a job in your field and buying a house, like all this stuff. Like the modern life has made these things out to be an experience. But like everything's an experience though. And if you're of the mindset that like, you can experience like deep sadness, or you can experience deep joy in the same situation, Like if you're aware of that reality, that you could be in the same situation with a completely different state of mind, but it's still the same situation, Like there's just stuff that it's like so apparent to me, and it's just living in a world that it's so lost. Like people could easily look at me and be like, she's lost, because I might just be lost, like literally. I don't have a GPS or a map. Or a map. Remember when we used maps back in the day? Remember when we used a compass? Yeah, so there's a good chance that I'm actually lost. But I'm also okay with the fact that, like, I'm wandering around aimlessly, and it seems like I'm wasting a bunch of time, but I don't know, I'm in my head. I'm in my head, and I can't imagine not being in my head. And I guess maybe that in itself is kind of a sad-ass reality. Because, like, no matter what I'm experiencing that could be really positive or really negative, it's like I'm still in my head with my fucking calculator, analyzing it. And maybe that's why I don't really have much of an interest in the stuff that interests normal people, because I know that it won't satisfy me anyway. But I'm really lucky for that realization. Because I feel like a lot of people, because they're so of the world, like, regardless of their personal situation, regardless of, like, how they feel about things, they're probably going to end up going wherever they're told to go, because that's just what they think they're supposed to do, you know? And I've just never really had that issue, I guess. I mean, just imagine, like, if we lived in a completely different time, it's like everybody would still be behaving the same. They would just have different things in their hands. They would have different political bullshit to obsess about. They would have different things to gossip about in the town that they live in, you know? But overall, people are pretty similar. Dude, I always want to know what's going on in that house, because it seems like there's a lot going on in that house. Every time I pass it, there are like so many cars in front of the house. And see, there's a part of me that's jealous of that person, and I have no idea who they are. I have no idea who owns that house. I have no idea what they do. But I'm jealous of them for reasons that I can only speculate upon. You know, like, oh, they look like they're really living it up, because they always have cars in their fucking yard. Maybe they're a drug dealer. They're probably a drug dealer. It's probably where they always have cars in their yard. But yeah, like, I used to live with my drug dealer a long time ago. And what was really funny, and I need to do this joke on stage because it really is a damn good bit. His girlfriend, she lived with us too, and she wasn't a pothead. Like, she had no interest in doing any kind of drugs, and she didn't give a fuck that that's what he did all fucking day. But there would be people coming in and out of the house all the time, and she had no clue what was going on. She just assumed that he had a lot of friends. He had a lot of friends that would just randomly pop in and out at all times of the night, and would only stick around for maybe 7 minutes at the most. But yeah, I guess if you're not familiar with that sort of lifestyle, there's no reason for you to, you know, have any clue what's going on. So, like, say I'm sitting outside of a house doing drugs, you know? I'm probably gonna be on high alert because of what I'm doing. But I could easily see that sort of activity. Like, I could see other people doing that. So even if I'm not engaging in that sort of activity, I still know when that sort of activity is taking place because I've been involved in it, you know? So if I'm just attentive, and I'm an extremely attentive person because I don't have a portable television that's listening to me, telling me stuff that I should watch to kill my brain even more than I already have. But yeah, I pay a lot of attention to, like, what's going on around me. For the most part. For the most part. That doesn't seem to prevent all accidents from happening, though. But accidents are less likely to happen if you pay attention, you know? See, that guy's turning, and it's taking him a long ass time because he's in a big ass vehicle. Look at his ass. Look at his ass. You can't not look at his ass. Anyway. You know, I really like these longer videos that I do where I just talk. I can understand why people don't want me to do the piano punk because they think that this kind of thing is way better. Yeah, I get you. I agree with you to some extent, but I also really like doing piano punk. I think it's fun. I mean, the whole reason to make music is, you know, it's a spiritual thing. For sure, it's a spiritual thing, and I get something out of it. People like me that are really neurotic will probably get something out of it. Because it's, oh shit. It feels warmer than that though. It feels like it's like 40 degrees outside. So it's a little warmer than that. But for whatever reason, Thelonious, that's the name of my car, Thelonious likes to tell me that it's 37 degrees outside. That's the magic number that he wants me to know. But yeah. Thank you so much, Lord. Thank you so much. So happy that I'm driving this car again. Listen to Tupac. Wait, I don't want to drive on the interstate though, because that's how we got into this mess in the first place. I said that I wasn't going to drive on the interstate. Missed opportunity. It's okay. Ooh, look at that sky. It's so pretty. Batteries in the red. That's exciting. That means I might shut up. Maybe. If it starts flashing, that's when you're in danger of it randomly cutting off. Fake ass bitches. Definitely not me. You know, something I touched on in the last video that I really want to talk about more is just this shame of the conflict that I experience on a regular basis. Like, it doesn't matter what I say or don't say. You know, it's like, I hate the fact that I live in this world that's obsessed with boxes. It's obsessed with, you know, labels, and that's always been the case, but it's way worse now because the internet has just exploited that fact about our existence, and that, you know, people are uncomfortable in their own skin and they're insecure and they want a definition, and if they have a definition then they can feel better about their experience, you know? That's why all these disorders exist. It's because they're capitalizing quite literally on the fact that people are insecure and they just need a definition to explain things to them. Even though having the definition really doesn't change that much, if anything at all. For a long time now, like in my early 20s, I had no problem telling people that I was a drunk, pothead, chain smoker, a liberal. And I guess that's why I say I'm still a liberal at heart, because like there is that part of me that is trying to define everything. And it's kind of silly because of that constant conflict that I bring up. That, like, it's silly for me to make some declaration of, like, how I've made some commitment. The only commitment that I really made was quitting alcohol. And the reason I made that commitment was because it was killing me. Like, literally. I was waking up in piss most of the time. So like when your internal organs are desperately trying to get your attention, it's best that you listen to them. But I don't know if that'll happen in regards to these other drugs that I do. And when I started fucking around with kratom, I feel like the reason why is because I really, 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 really miss smoking pot all the time. Like, I looked at that like it was like, you know, my best friend. And I don't really know very many potheads that don't look at that plant that exact same way. I mean, I know that you can look at anything like that. I mean, some people look at a case of beer that way. I tried to, somewhat. I guess that's probably why I drink the non-alcoholic stuff. But there's never, ever, ever a time when I've looked at regular-ass beer and thought, I can handle that. Like, I know that I can't handle it because I see I mean I've seen the way that I drink. Like I've already had enough proof. I really don't need any more. But I understand the way that I am about, you know, just anything that can alter my mind, anything that has the ability to change the way that I feel about myself. Because it's not just about, you know, getting me high or whatever. It's about like the ritualistic element. It's about, you know, what this does for me. You know? Because I feel like with every single thing that we do, whether it's, you know, drink coffee, make tea, or, you know, we go to a particular gas station every 3 or 4 days and get gas, and we talk to the gas station attendee or attendant or whatever the fuck, and, you know, we have a conversation with them. And we go to a coffee shop every day, or we go to a bar every weekend, or, you know, whatever it is as part of a person's routine. It's like there's the initial, like, reason why we're there participating in that. But then there's, you know, probably about 5 underlying reasons why that's a thing. And I don't know. That's why I say it's just kind of silly for me to think that I'm just not going to be like this crazy schizo person if I just don't fuck with marijuana anymore. If I, you know, avoid mind-altering substances, and that means that I'll be like on an even keel, and it's just not fucking true. I realize though that like doing drugs in a lot of ways is going to make it worse. I'm fully aware of that. I'm also fully aware of the fact that it's never going to be the same. Just like, you know, everything changes. You know, the experience that I had when I first started going to the Orthodox Church, it's different. Because I know more, not just about the Holy Trinity, but like I know more about the traditions, and I have more of a feel for it than I did in the beginning. So yeah, my experience is going to be different than it was. And so it's just kind of stupid to like even mourn what used to be. Because I know that a lot of people are doing that right now because of the nostalgia of what this world used to pretend to be, okay? This world is nothing more than sand, okay? You know how people say you're burying your head in the sand? That's what this motherfucker is. That's what it really boils down to. You know, because they can change anything and everything on a whim. And they've proven that time and time again. And I think the main thing that they're trying to prove is that people really don't care that much. They might care a little bit, but when it comes to inconvenience, and when it comes to like having to think harder about everything, most people are going to opt out of that one, you know? And it's not because those people are bad. Like, I don't think that people are bad, but I don't really think that they're good. They don't have virtue. And if they don't have virtue, then, like, it's going to be hard for them to be better people, you know? And I think that, like, the reason why this stuff is bothering me so much is because I do have a lot of virtue, and I do want to be the best person I can be, but I'm just really struggling right now. And so I'm making decisions that I know are not expedient. But I know that God will get me through it. But I don't know. I'm just really uncomfortable right now. That's okay. I mean, that's nothing new, but if I'm to be completely honest, it does make me really, really sad that there's this element of comfort that I got from these things that doesn't doesn't really do it for me anymore. But because it used to. It's kind of like phantom. You know, I talk about the phantom libido and everything. I mean, I don't want to say it's phantom cannabis because I definitely know that it's there.